Bro, I've been in such a rut lately, and I don't really know why or when it started or how it started. But I just been waking up with like a feeling of dread and like purposelessness, and like my energy's all drained and everything. And I don't want to go to school, and I want to stay in bed, but I can't sleep because I'm not tired enough. And it's just like I I don't know why I feel this way, but I've been feeling this way for like about a month now, and it's been so hard to stick to like the good things and like how I carry myself and like how you do one things, how you do all that good stuff. Like it's been so hard to stick to all the good things that I've been like trying to stick to or like trying to chase. And I wrote it down, I journaled about it, and I was just like pondering like why, you know, like why was I on such a good trajectory, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm going downhill, it feels like, and it's like everything is so much harder, and every single thing that I do feels like it's in like an upward climb and not like downhill. I don't really know if that analogy worked, but you get what I'm saying. And so I just like journaled about it. I wrote it down, like how I'm feeling, and then how I felt about myself. And a lot of it was obviously negative, but then one of the words that I wrote down was purposelessness. And when you think of purposelessness, it's kind of hard to like, for some reason, when I don't think about it and I'm just like walking by myself, I'm like, no, I have a purpose. Like I know what my goals are. But then purposelessness was how I felt anyway, even though I knew what my goals were and what I was trying to achieve. So even though it was at the forefront of my mind, or like maybe at the back of my mind most of the day, it still felt like I was lost and had no direction. So what did I do? I wrote down, like obviously I wrote down action steps that I could take. And so I wrote down, like on a piece of paper and on my phone, like a list of my goals. And like we said before, goals that scare you, goals that literally jump scare you. Like I stuck up goals beside my bed. Every time I wake up, they jump scare me and I get a hit of anxiety because they're so far away. That's probably terrible for my mental health now that I think about it. I'm probably gonna stop doing that. But I wrote down my goals anyway on my phone, on a piece of paper, and just like on one piece of paper that I could look at every morning before I go to bed. And I don't know, I said them out loud to myself and I recited them, I memorized them. And for some reason, when I look at my goals and like the plan that it takes to achieve them, or like to get me at least on that trajectory toward achieving said goals, that just made it so much easier for me to get out of bed and like carry myself with like respect, you know? And it's not like I didn't have goals in the first place. I don't know, just writing it down and seeing all your goals in a list just does something for you. I don't really know what it is, but I don't know, that's worked for me. And today's like the first day where I really felt like I was back on track. Like not fully. I planned out my whole day to do like a ton of things, ton of errands. I need to get my visa, I need to get like my homework done, I need to get like this workout in. And I made like this extremely like long list of things to do, and I only stuck to it like 70%. But that like my 70% of following my schedule was literally better than most days that I've had this month. And so that's already progress, and little wins we stack and we take those. So yeah, I wrote down my goals on a list. Goals that scare you, goals that inspire you. And what else did I do? Oh, I also started listening to all those like motivational, like cringe motivational speeches again. I don't know why. I used to listen to those when I was like 12, 13. And that's kind of what put me on a trajectory to where like I want to work hard and I want to like aspire to be something, you know. And after I listened to like a couple of those again, even just a few minutes, like get past the cringe, but like listen to the message, you know. And that kind of like, yeah, that reminded me of why I'm doing everything I'm doing, because it put me back in that space of when I was 13 and I was setting like all these big goals, and I was promising myself that, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna work hard to get what I want. So remind yourself of why you started doing something. Remind yourself of why you started in the first place. Who are you doing it for, right? Not just your future self. Who are you doing it for? Maybe you're like your future family. Maybe your current family. Maybe your parents. Maybe you're a sibling or like an uncle or an aunt or something. Anyone. Remind yourself of why you're doing it. Because when you chase something, like when you chase a goal, or you have something you want to accomplish, and it's just merely for you and like your own, I don't know, your own glory, I feel like that's so superficial. Even though like that's what everyone says to do. Like, oh, bro, be something. Be like, do what you love. Find your purpose. But a lot of times I feel like our purpose stems from wanting to do something, be something for someone else, you know, like to inspire someone else, or like I don't really know. But when it's bigger than you, it makes it so much easier to, like, number one, it's more of an incentive to pursue because you know it's bigger than just you. And you also have someone else to celebrate it with, like when you do achieve it, that goal. And it's just when you think of purpose, I can't possibly think of like the purpose of life having to do just with just you, right? If you think of like, oh, what's my meaning of life? Obviously, that's so deep. That's like years down the line. I don't know if I'll ever like truly find my deepest purpose because I'm on like my first layer right now. But it can't possibly just be about me. It has to be about someone else as well. Something way bigger than you. So when you're doing something that's difficult, but you're doing it for someone or something that's a lot bigger than you, that's more than just you, and it has the power to like inspire others or something like that, that's when like that has power beyond like your discipline, you know. That has power beyond any motivational thing you could possibly watch, because that's purpose. Everyone talks about like, oh, you don't need discipline. You don't need motivation. You need discipline, right? You got to be able to do it, especially when you don't feel like it. But then when you feel like this is like, yeah, this is something bigger than me, then it doesn't really feel like discipline or motivation, right? It just feels like, it doesn't even feel like an obligation. You just do it, right? I don't really know how to explain it into like good words. I'll probably like update as I figure this out, but yeah, that's just the two things that I figured out right now. Like, write down your goals in a list. Read them often and like recite them and like just see them and visualize them coming into fruition. And number two is recognizing that whatever you're doing is bigger than you, whether you feel like it or not. What does it have the power to do or like impact the world like a ripple effect beyond you, right? And when you have that kind of sense of purpose, a sense of duty, then you have no choice but to do it because it's bigger than you. It affects more than just you. And if you're not a bad person or whatever, like you'll understand the importance of it. So if you want to hear more from a 17-year-old trying to figure out life, subscribe. It's a win-win for both of us. If you want to talk to me, hit the first link in the description. Okay, after